My name is Lisa Lane. Like you said, I'm based in New Jersey, right near New York City, East Coast, USA.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Herstory TV and the Herstory podcast. This is Gertrude Macha here in beautiful Wellington, New Zealand. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating lady coming to us all the way from the US. Welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, how old you are, and share your magical story with us today.
Okay, first, Gertrude, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's so great to connect to someone across the world, and you're just such a great presence. I appreciate the fact that you're here with me, and I appreciate the opportunity. My name is Lisa Lane. Like you said, I'm based in New Jersey, right near New York City, East Coast, USA. I'm 56 years young. I, back in the day, was a pharmaceutical rep and really was, sort of part-time, not really working full-time. My husband was the breadwinner, and I was sort of enjoying, just a leisurely life, raising my children. And next thing you know, one day I was standing in my shower and I was washing my shower. And I was bathing my dog and I was rinsing my shower walls, and I just kept filling a bucket over and over again. And I was getting wet in the process, just filling it up, splashing the walls, trying to clean the shower. And, when I had to clean my dog, the same thing, filling my bucket over and over. And I just thought to myself, there's got to be a better way. And it was an aha moment in the shower that sort of changed the trajectory of where I was, just working part-time, into this thing where I thought, you know what, I have an idea and I think I could sell this. I need something to connect to my shower head to make this easy. And when I really got to thinking about it, I'm like, you know what, this could really be something that a lot of people would like and use. And then I thought, I don't know where to begin. I have this idea. I think a lot of people have an idea in their head, maybe some type of invention or something, but they don't know where to begin, or they think, oh, someone's invented that, I'm not going to bother. But deep in my heart, I said, you know what? I think I have something here. And I set out to figure out if it was worth pursuing. And I found an engineer that could make drawings for me, who connected me to someone in China who was able to manufacture it. My margin, I figured this is how much it costs. This is what it could sell for. And it was a mass market product. I thought people with dogs could buy it. Anyone that cleans their shower could buy it. That was a lot of people. So I did. From there, it was that aha moment in the shower. I came up with this idea, the Rinse-A-Roo. I got a patent. It's a slip-on shower attachment hose. I use it all the time. I listed it on Amazon. I came up with a website, and it has taken off beyond my wildest dreams. It's so much fun to be an e-commerce manager now. I have my own business. And it's really great. So, I know you have a lot of women that tune in, and I just want to say, to those women that have an idea, pursue that dream. It may not be great, but certainly do some research and investigate, and you never know what you might have. It's kind of fun. And I encourage people to do that. So that's my story.
That is just amazing. The number of people who go to their graves with ideas, with stories, and they just don't even have the courage to put it on a piece of paper. Mm-hmm. And you brought this idea into being. So there's something about you that created that. Let's just go back a little bit. Yeah. Some people are brought up in families where there's a belief system that you can do anything you want. I grew up with a father who made me curious to see the world. And he would tell me, you can go all over the world. And I would read encyclopedias and books. And so I've been to 56 countries because my dad instilled that in me. Who was the inventor in your family? Did you have a father who was like a MacGyver who could put things together? Where did that come from?
You know what? Honestly, Gertrude, it was my grandfather, my mom's dad. I grew up, we would go to their house, my grandparents' house, every week, and we would go there. And he always had a little thing. It was like a little invention that he was working on. And he was a photographer. He would invent things for his photography studio, and he was making wine, and he would do things to help store his wine, and came up with all these little gadgets and things. We would go there and it would be like, like, what is Pop going to have today that he's going to show us? And he would show us around the house. Look what I did here. Look what I did there. And, back then he, was only able to do so much. Today, though, I look back and I thought, gosh, if he was here today, what he could have done, he could have invented 20 things, because now we're connected to the world, as you know, and when you have this connection, you can find an engineer, you can find a manufacturer. But my grandfather wasn't able to. He was living in that little world in Fords, New Jersey. Now the world is our oyster, much like your story. You get me I want to travel listening to you. It's just so motivating. But it was definitely my grandfather. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's important. Like you said, your dad encourages you. There's someone like that in a lot of people's lives that really have that great positive influence on us. So, yeah.
Well, it's beautiful that you had that role model, and you say that if only he was here now. He is, because he is in you. Yeah. He left that in your DNA, and you are just continuing the legacy of your grandfather. That is just absolutely beautiful.
Oh, you are making me want to cry. You are so sweet.
True.
No, I believe that. I really do. I'm honored that you say that, because I really loved him. He was just so great guy. Yeah, that's nice.
Awesome. And imagine what this is doing to your family. I don't know if you have children, if you have nephews, if you have nieces, and they have this amazing woman in their lives who invents stuff. Imagine how that's going to pass on to the next generation.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, my son actually just graduated from college, and he graduated during COVID. So who is getting interviews and jobs when everything is shut down? The timing was perfect, and I offered him a job. He now works for me full time. And it's been actually, tomorrow will be his 1-year anniversary working for me at my company. And I say, Gertrude, my goal in doing this now to scale this and grow this is not for me. I want to give it to him. I want to see what he can do. And it's just great. We have such a great bond now. We work together, and everyone's like, how is it working with your son? Well, he's great. He's really great.
Oh, that is just fantastic. Really,
so yeah.
So the next generation have picked up the baton of your grandfather. That is beautiful.
Yeah, it continues.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So whenever I interview an entrepreneur, a creative person like you, I always want to take you back as if time did not exist. And we're going to go back to the younger you, that young woman who was in the shower throwing buckets of water and thinking, this is crazy.
He wasn't that young.
But when that idea dropped into your brain and you just knew you were onto something, what did it feel like? What 3 nuggets of wisdom can you give another woman who's listening to this interview right now, who had that aha moment? She's sitting on the idea right now, has no idea where to go, how to start, how to do it. 3 pieces of advice. What would you tell her?
Well, first of all number 1 would say, if you have an aha moment, don't ignore it. Okay. Number 1. Number 2 is just research. There's so many great books out there. I read, I think the book was called The Mom's Handbook to Inventing. And I got that book. I didn't know where to begin. I think just research. You can go online, you get a book and find out how to make this happen. It's not that difficult. I think the challenge with most people is thinking that it's hard to go from concept to fruition. Yes. But once you figure it out, it's not that hard. So number 1, go for it. Figure out if it's worth it. If you have a mass market idea, that's a good thing. Yeah. You also have to say, who could potentially use this product? If it's a tiny little market, maybe sell on Etsy. If you have homemade things like that. But if it's a big thing, not a big thing, but a mass market product where potentially everyone or every consumer could buy it, you could really, put it onto Amazon, have it made and go for it. That's number 3 is go for it. Just learn it, research it, and don't, I'm thinking of a quote. I think, what's the quote say? One of my favorites. You never want to look back and say, what if?
No, yeah, you
I
should never die with those regrets, right?
don't ever say, I never want to die and say, what if? I want to
Yeah.
die and say, I did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that if you don't be that what if person would be the advice.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So now where are you seeing this business going? If we were to look 5, 10, 20 years from now, is it just in the United States? Are you thinking of going global? Where are you going with your business right now?
Well, we launched just a couple of years ago. Like it's literally just about 2 years, and we're doing really well in this country. We actually connected with a company that does have international reach, and we're in negotiations with them. They're based in Canada, but they have so many connections worldwide. And
Right.
yeah, I mean, the world is our oyster now. It's like no
Yes.
longer am I my grandfather in New Jersey, right? You can be, we're talking across the world, we can connect, and why not? I mean, what people use in this country, I'm going to send you
somewhere
a
else.
run through. I'll send you one because I know you can use it there, right?
Please.
So yeah, that's it. Scaling. I personally wouldn't want to manage that international stuff, but if we can hire a distributor that's been there, done that, they know the channels, they know how to get it done. That's of interest.
That'll be the
us.
way to go.
Yeah. It's not
Absolutely
that hard to do
wonderful.
anymore.
And the world is flat because of the internet right now. You're right. The world is literally flat. We have this amazing tool. I feel like you're right here in my lounge in Wellington, New Zealand, and we're having this conversation. So the only limitation really to any entrepreneur is you. It's your self-limiting beliefs. And I really love what you said, that don't ever regret not having tried. You'd rather fail and say, at least I tried, than to take it to your grave.
Yeah.
Wonderful to have met you. You are the kind of people who make me want to wake up every day. Such an amazing source of inspiration.
Thank you, Gertrude. The same to you. I saw your TED Talk, and you seem wonderful, and I love what you're doing. I think it's great to, help other women, encourage other women, and reach out globally. We, as a network, we help each other.
Yeah, and it is about us sharing our stories, Lisa. The story you've told today. There is a woman out there who's going to listen. And she'll get off her butt and say, okay, here we go. I'm going to give this
I hope
try.
so. I really do. And honestly, if anyone were to call me, I've always reached out to others. Hey, I have this question. There are people out there that have done what you've done, what I've done, and we're always willing to help. Email me. I'm helping. There's no secrets. It's like, hey, encourage, and it's a great thing. I'm happy to help.
We don't have to reinvent the wheel. You are so right. We can learn from each other. I love that. Thank you for making yourself accessible to women to learn through you. So thank you, everybody. My stories are so varied, so different. When I meet someone like Lisa, it's like I'm seeing a reflection of myself, because I'm an ideas person. I come up with ideas all the time, and people are like, slow down. Why are you doing something different? But for me, it's the challenge of creating something that didn't exist that really spurs me.
It's a lot of fun.
So tune in again tomorrow, everybody. I'll be back with yet another amazing guest. Have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. And Lisa, thanks again for this interview.
And thank you. Have a good one. Enjoy the day.
Bye for now, everybody.
Bye-bye.